G'day, I'm Matt here from Breadboard Killer, and today I'm going to quickly show you how to use the Breadboard Killer site, how to upload a design and order your board. Alright, let's get started. First thing we need to do is come over here and we need to register for an account, which is quite simple. Just choose a username, enter an email address, and type a password. Alright, and we're good to go. Register. Alright, and now we've been logged in. So, to upload a design, we obviously need a design to upload. You'll create this design in a program such as Altium Designer or KiCad or Eagle. And Eagle is the program I've used in this one. I didn't actually design this myself, I just took one of the reference Eagle designs when you download the program. And here what I've got are the Gerber files which I've exported from Eagle. And these are the files that describe the board that you'll be uploading. This is what the Breadboard Killer site reads, and it's how it shows you a visualization of your board. To export these files from Eagle, I've actually written a tutorial already which you can follow, but I'll probably do a video on it in the future as well. That tutorial is on the website under blog if you want to find it. Anyway, what we need to do is combine all these files into a single zip, which we can then upload to the site. So we're just going to add to archive. I'm using WinRAR, and you can actually upload a zip or a RAR, but I'm just going to use a zip in this case. Alright, there we go. And this file here, which contains all these Gerber files, is the file that we will be uploading to the site in a second. Okay, so back on the site, we're going to hit Upload PCB from the main page, and here's the design upload page. Here's a list of the files that you need to include. There should be 8 of them in total. And alright, now I'm just going to take this zip file that we made and I'm going to drag it over into this window, into this box here, and it will upload. Here we go. And green. Good. Alright, so we've got our design uploaded now, and Breadboard Killer here has automatically generated renderings of the front and the back of the board, as we can see, and it's also generated renderings of each of the individual Gerber layers, as we can see down here. Let's take a look at a couple of these quickly. So here is the Epsilon drill file. You can see the black shape here is generated from the board outline layer. So that's the shape of your board, and the white dots are where holes will be drilled. The black area is where there are no holes. This is a similar trend with the rest of the layers. So this one here, top copper, where there is white is where there will be copper. Where there's black is where there will be no copper. Another one. Let's have a look at the bottom overlay. So the bottom layers are interesting. They're going to appear as if the text is flipped here. It looks a bit funny and hard to read. The reason for that is because we're drawing all of these Gerber layers as if we were looking through the board from the top. And that's the way most CAD packages will draw these files. When you're looking at it in your CAD program, that's what it's going to look like. And the reason is because then when you stack layers, they all line up properly. So you can see the top layer and the bottom layer in the same rendering. If you flipped the bottom layer and drawn it with the top layer, it wouldn't make any sense. So all of these layers are drawn looking through from the top. The only rendering that is not drawn like that is this rendering of the back of the board here. And the reason for that is so that we can see what the board would look like from the back. So this is all of the back layers superimposed on each other, so you can get a visual representation of what the back of the board will look like. You see how this text appears in the right orientation. So the main purpose of this inspect page here is to get a quick look at your board, make sure you haven't made any silly mistakes in terms of the Gerber outputs, getting the right files, or any errors in the design itself. You can see them and make sure everything looks right. Now, Breadboard Killer is going to have a pretty good guess at what layer is what that you've uploaded. So what layer is the top copper, what layer is the bottom copper, etc., etc. However, sometimes it's not going to get that right, and what you can do is you can select the layers yourself if it has made a mistake. So let's say that Breadboard Killer had picked this as the top copper layer. So that's actually the bottom silk screen. And if we have a look at this one now, we can see, oh, this looks a bit interesting. See that yellow text in there? That's actually the top copper. So we've chosen to use the bottom silkscreen as what copper will be on the top. That's clearly not what we want. And you can see it looks quite incorrect in this drawing. So that would be a example of that litmus check that you're doing. Anyway, so let's say it had chosen that. We'd go through and go, okay, that's not the actual file, and we'd select the correct file, which is this one here, and it will process that, and now everything looks fine again. So you have the flexibility to choose which layers are which if you have differently named layer files. Okay. So here we are on the PCB properties page, which is where we're going to select the details of how we want our board manufactured. I'm just going to go through each of these options quickly. So first is the design name. This is just a reference for you. It's also, if you decide to share your board on the Breadboard Killer site, the name that other people will see. Okay, preferred units. Do you want it to be inches or centimeters? I'm just going to choose centimeters here. PCB thickness. You can choose a few different options here. Minimum trace spacing, which is the distance you can have between your traces, or the spaces that you can have, the smallest spacing that you can have on your board. A minimum hole size, so 0.3 millimeters is standard. Do you want impedance control? You can select your solder mask and silkscreen color. Surface finish, you can choose lead-free, immersion gold, or leaded hot air solder leveling. And then you can choose your copper weight, which is 1 or 2 Oz. And lastly, in this box here, you can put any other design notes that you need to include. Quickly, I'm just going to show you choosing the solder mask color. So you can actually select a solder mask color here, such as blue, and the design will update accordingly. You can also choose a silkscreen color, so we want black. Probably not the best selection with the blue board, but we could do that if we wanted to. I'm going to choose red and black. That looks pretty cool. Awesome. Okay, so we're happy with that, and we're going to click Save and Continue. Here we go. So this is the page where we're going to choose whether or not we want to share our design on the Breadboard Killer site. If we would like to do so, then other people will be able to view our design, download the design files, and order our design with a few clicks. So if we want to share it, let's say that we do, we're going to click Make this design open source. We can select a license. That one's fine. And here we can just type a little description if we want. There we go. So when we're happy with that, we can just click Save and Continue. So this has taken us through to the order page, where we'll enter how many boards we want and our shipping information. You can see here this is the size of the board that we've uploaded, and this is going to be used to calculate how much it'll cost. So firstly, we enter the quantity. We just want 5 boards for now. Shipping address. To do this, you can either click Manage and edit it through your profile, or you can click this little down arrow and enter it straight in place. So we'll enter in our information here. We're in Australia and New South Wales. Alright, and we click Save Contact Info. Fantastic, so that's all good. And that's our shipping address. We can use that again next time we do an order if we'd like. We don't have to type it in again. And then we can choose our shipping method. I'm happy with Singapore Post. And here's our total cost of $61. So then we'll click Checkout, and here we go. This is our order summary page, and it's just going to give us a quick overview of all of the design choices we've made so far. Our shipping details, order details. Have a quick look through that. Make sure you're happy with everything, and when you are, just hit Buy Now. We use Stripe for the billing, so any cards supported by Stripe are also supported by us. Simply enter your card details into these boxes and click Pay. Well, thanks for listening. I hope you found this short tutorial useful and it's explained some things for you. If you have any other questions, please head on over to the Contact Us page at Breadboard Killer, where you can leave us a message, or if you'd like, you can just send us an email directly to support@breadboardkiller.com. And that's it. Thanks for watching.